Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. I do apologize for the delay. I know that I scheduled it at like 2 and then 2:30 and then 3, but I was having sound issues, and believe it or not, it actually was not on my end. I don't know. I was going to restart my computer and do all that and try it again, and I was like, maybe I should try to test the sound out before I do all that with just a regular video that I downloaded, and it worked fine. So then I tried to do it through Chrome again and restart Chrome, and it wouldn't work. So I tried Firefox, went to YouTube, and the sound was fine. So I'm not sure if it's an issue on Chrome's end or what, but it is fixed, and I do apologize again. And hopefully you guys can hear me. Hey, Kristen. Hey, the Pink Dahlia. Kyla. Spacebound. Hey, Cecile. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hey, Christy. Hey, Ribby. Hey, Bowser. So, I don't know if everyone has heard about this event. I am going to be honest with you. I have not looked extensively into this case. I really wasn't. When I heard about it, I wasn't going to really cover it because I don't do the whole. I'm not big on the celebrity. Well, one, I don't follow celebrity gossip or anything like that. But I don't do the whole celebrity propaganda symbolism. I mean, I do know about it. I did make a Madonna video of all the symbolism and predictive programming with the virus. But I just don't normally cover the celebrity stuff. However, when I did go to Melissa Jade's channel, and if you guys are not familiar with who Melissa Jade is, if one of my moderators can please put her channel link in the chat, that would be great. She does great work on these true crime cases. She also covers other conspiracies like I do, and she's just she always gives me a voice on her channel, and I just really appreciate that. So I'm always trying to support her and support each other. So if you guys could put her link, please take a moment to check out her channel. And of course, if you guys, my moderators, I trust you. If you have any channels, again, that you want to recommend to other people, please put their links in the chat as well. As well as RV Truth, if you could put their link in. I know I'm so needy, right? RV Truth, and a call for an uprising, because I will be more than likely playing both of their videos, at least one of them. But I do suggest that you check out their channels as well, because they cover the same stuff that I do with all the symbolism in plain sight. But so what I was saying is, I don't normally cover it, but when I saw it on Melissa Jade's channel, and all the symbolism in it, and not only that, but the fact that this is a tragic event, and it's kind of what I cover with these orchestrated events, the ones that, gain that widespread media attention within just days, which is one of those characteristics and red flags that I talk about all the time that you guys need to look out for. So considering that it is a tragic event and the narrative is claiming that 8 people died, I figured I should probably cover this event. And I know that quite a few of you were asking me if I was going to cover it, so here I am. Hey, TH. Hey, Hard Eyes. But so I haven't looked again a lot into it. I haven't watched a lot of the videos, but and I've talked about this before. Once and if you are awake and you're able to spot these orchestrated events, and I'm not saying it is orchestrated 100%. I'm not saying that nobody died, and it's way too early, and I have not done enough research on it to 100% confirm that. But there are certain, again, characteristics and red flags to look out for, because they, no matter what event it is, they're always using that same like itinerary and those same red flags. Now they're going to vary a little bit depending on the event. You're not going to have all of the same characteristics because you're going to have ones that cater to that specific event, whether it be a terrorist attack, a mass shooting, a familicide case in true crime, or whether it be a trampling or a chaos that happens at a concert. I have buffering issues. Okay, let me see if I can fix it. I mean, buffering is a given on my channel. You guys know that. Just give me 1 second. Let me see here. Wait, my sound's out again now too? Oh, this is just great. Yeah, Christy, the shoes. Hey, Keys. Yeah, the number 8, exactly. I don't know what I'm going to be able to, I don't think I'm going to be able to fix the buffering issues while I'm live streaming. I don't think OBS is going to let me do that, unfortunately. So, we might have to try this again tomorrow, unfortunately. I definitely don't want to put you guys through that, and I don't want to put myself through that. But I will try to fix the issue if it continues, and we'll do it tomorrow. But hey, Lulu. I am getting an error on YouTube saying that it's not maintaining smooth streaming. So it's more than likely not even going to probably play the videos I play. But I could just ramble for an hour, I guess. No, I won't do that to you guys. Hey Sophia, MJ is Melissa Jade. So back to what I was saying. So again, I have not done enough research on it to 100% say that nobody died. But again, I'm noticing all of the symbolism, and that's, you guys know, if you follow me, that the symbolism I am hoping will be their downfall, because there's so much, that's one of the main things to look out for as far as red flags go with these tragic events that, again, get all this widespread media attention. A lot of it doesn't make sense. There's more questions than answers, but where all the mainstream media outlets are really pushing the narrative and getting it out there to as many people as possible, and not only that, but pushing the exact same narrative. So when I see like all the symbolism and right off the bat with these tragic events, that's when I have to take a step back and really look at it from a different perspective. And then of course the other red flags that follow along with it. Like, I'm already seeing a lot of the same characteristics that the Las Vegas shooting had, except there's just no shooting involved. Like, certain eyewitness accounts saying that, like, oh, there were so many people that died, but then we only have 8 people. We'll get into that, but I'm just rambling. I'm going to try to attempt to play right now an RV Truth video. And the reason why I play RV Truth's video and a call for an uprising is because, again, I want to show you guys that I'm not the only one who is talking about these events, who's exposing these events and pointing out the symbolism in plain sight and the deception. And not only that, but I also want to give them, a shout out and support them as well, and get people over to their channel to really try and wake people up. And the good thing about a call for an uprising and RV Truth, they don't mind that I play their content, because they're about getting the truth out there, as long as anybody's giving them credit for their videos, which I always do. So, like, compared to the true crime community, where the majority of these channel creators are all in competition to get these views, like on Chris Watts and Summer Wells, instead of really supporting one another, which everyone should be doing. Because supposedly they're saying, oh, I'm just trying to get, justice for the victims. We're just trying to get to the truth. Well, not really, because all you're doing is censoring people and timing people out with your moderators when anybody has a difference of opinion that doesn't match yours, or, you don't want to hear what they have to say. And it's just one huge competition, and I just don't agree with that. So that's the good thing, again, about RV Truth and a call for an uprising. So I'm going to try to play RV Truth's video. Hopefully it will not buffer as much. I did not have time to download it prior. So fingers crossed. And then after I play his video, I'll do what I usually do, and then I'll go play some other videos, like the witness testimonies or whatever, witness statements, and just other clips with the symbolism in it, and give my perspective on the whole thing.
Go down, of course, with, I'll just call it Starworld with Scott. And Scott is a reference to the Scottish Rite, and I'll get into that again with the symbolism. They're always coded with these news stories. And first off, before even moving forward, one thing that's been going around online with all the nonsense is this supposed predictive programming with, as you see here, Scott and the Simpsons episode. There is obviously predictive programming from the Simpsons, but we must use discernment before sharing photos such as this, these comparison photos. Do a little research, look online, see if there's an actual video, because obviously Photoshop's easy to do. And just like here with the moving image from this video, it gives the appearances from an actual Simpson episode. But again, you have to look for the actual video. Do not share any type of imagery after event goes down until you can verify it's legit. And it reminds me of this debacle with DC, and this has been in the news lately as well, with this Photoshop. And this is basically what you're looking at here. This cartoon character from The Simpsons, and they're again just photoshopped in here, and people just run with it, buy it, and they just share it, and you make people that do research look bad. So again, just look for the actual video. If you can't find the actual video, don't share what you find online as far as this nonsense. And again, just like I showed here. Now getting back to the whole Scott situation, like I said, it was meant to go down. And all the symbolism, as always, the all-seeing eye and the hypnotic type of symbolism here, and I'll get into that more. It's going to be prevalent, as always, again, with the symbolism. One thing I want to break down actually first is the shirt he's wearing. Let's actually get a little bit of a closer look. And you see these, looks like these blue people walking through this portal, and these devils come through the other side. Kind of reminds me, going back to my youth, this one Commodore 64 game called Ultima. And you take a look, it's basically the same thing. It's like Truth in Plain Sight with these dimensions, these dimensional beings, and we know what these are. They are dimensional beings. So again, the Truth in Plain Sight in fiction, this is what it's all about. And also the red and blue is prevalent. Basically red and blue equal purple, and that equals to royalty or witchcraft. As you see here, Queen Elizabeth, and again the red and the blue, you combine them for again royalty or witchcraft. And look at the belt buckle here of the nurse, and basically it is the square and the compass of masonry, and you have the pentagram. So again, the signs and symbols are always there. And people need to understand with these spotlighted events, this was definitely given to him, told to wear for this particular event. And also, it took place in Houston. Houston comes from Scotland. Basically, Houston, the hewers of stone, as I've shown in the past in previous videos, Houston is derived from a stone mason. So this is where you get the hewer of stone. So again, this is why you have NASA located in Houston, Texas, or Houston, Texas, the Houston Astrodome or Stardome, just like the singer Whitney Houston. There's a lot of hidden plain sight meanings, the etymology of names, again, all in plain sight. Now, like I showed earlier with the stage set itself and the all-seeing eye, and that gets into this interview with a so-called security guard that was at the event. He claims they were understaffed, and basically he just took off, he left. And one thing I found interesting, he keeps looking over to the side like he's reading off a script. And again, the symbolisms.
Okay, so I just want to point out the X that's behind him that RV Truth is kind of pointing out. Do you guys recall the live stream I did, or actually I should say, do you remember in the Watts case on the body cam footage where I think it's Coonrod, I don't remember specifically if it's Coonrod, but if they're outside on the body cam, and in the rocks there's the two plastic toys that's like a shovel and like an axe or something, in the shape of an X, like X marks the spot. Well, if you go to Colorado's like emblem or their logo, their state logo, there's the exact same thing. And also ODD TV does a video on the Freemasonry and just the occult, all the occult symbolism and everything that surrounds Colorado, and just how terrible of a state that's becoming, unfortunately. But if you go and look at Colorado's emblem, and we know about Colorado having a lot of these orchestrated events that I pointed out, it seems to be a hot spot for some reason. But so if you go and look at Colorado's state emblem, they have that X marks the spot, and of course you have the pentagram with the star and everything like that inside it as well. So, oops. Sorry, I dropped my mouse. Okay. So let's continue. I was like, where was I? Here we go. This is what happens when you don't stream for like 2 weeks.
Always there. When you look around, they're always going to have, and of course, TMZ is a Time Warner creation. And again, that spiral symbolism, basically with hypnosis, which I've covered recently. And again, always in plain sight with the symbolism, and maybe even a better view right here with these spiral symbolism, just like I showed with Park Avenue, as you can see, in the spiral or the snake coil, just like the Vatican with the spiral staircase, this hypnotic type of staircase. And again, let's play a little bit of this interview. Again, this individual's looking over to one side, and obviously everything you see on TV for the most part is scripted. If it makes it on TV, there's a very, very good chance it's made to happen. They have to have control. They're not going to let random bozos go on there and just say whatever they want. Let's take a listen again to what this man says here.
500 to 1,000 people, severely understaffed. So I knew immediately that if 2 people decided to rush the gate, then it was over with. Well, after I initially mentioned my displeasure with working the front gates.
And that's when basically, like I said, he just quit. So I'm not going to play this individual speaking any longer. Again, just a stooge, basically part of the script of this whole scenario that went down. And I find this pretty hilarious. They have an interview with an individual that claimed to be there during the event that's related to someone that works for this news station. Take a listen to what it said here. And again, all these news stories are coded. Let's take a listen.
from 2 o'clock until 9 p.m. I was having a fantastic time.
At his first ever music festival, there in orange, Reese Bluda dressed for the elements.
They're in orange. Of course, coded for 30.
That's funny. I don't remember seeing this part when I first watched this video. I watched the premiere when he had it, but and you'll see me commenting in the chat as well if you guys go back and watch this video and watch the chat replay. But yeah, of course it's orange. They love their color combinations. And, you know, if you guys have been following me and you know about the Watts case, there was so much orange in that case. You have the Denver Broncos. You have Nate wearing a Bronco shirt. You have the orange flowers. You have the picture of Shanann where it says that Nico was the size of an orange. Orange, orange, orange. You know, look for black and white checkerboard. They just love their color patterns and combinations, and like I feel like they pick a certain color sometimes as well for like different events. And then with the Gabby Petito case, you have the orange cones right where he was pulled over that are just there, or I don't know if they were cones, I don't know what the hell they were, markers of some sort for the road, but just again, that's what you want to look out for. So your 13s, your 33s, your 666, certain dates that they like to use, your 319, like Survey 319. They like to pick specific dates for sure. Your, you know, your duality with your, again, with your 33, or especially in names. So your double letters in names, look out for that as well. And it's like, people will say, well, Megan, you know, 33 is a common number. 13 is a common number. Like, you're just being crazy conspiracy theorist, right? But how many times do these numbers and these colors and these double letters and names have to pop up until they're not coincidental anymore? That's when it stops becoming conspiratorial and more done on purpose.
And again, all these news stories are coded. Every single one that makes the national, international news, definitely they love to. They're coded masonry symbolism. The numbers, they're always going to be present. Just like the bricks of Freemasonry in the background. Now take a listen to what these two say here. It's very revealing, and I'll break it all down.
Like, we have to walk over people. Like, you know, there's not much you can do when there's 50,000 people in one little area. You know?
Little area. Let's take a look here, this one little area. Okay, first off, let's show the crowd itself. As you can see here in this, basically looks like almost like a cross. Obviously symbolism. But very important to point out is the actual, when you don't have the people here, the actual layout. And just take a look here, a closer look, and you can see the barricades. And these were, of course, where the people are, the people that attended the event. And you have this clear area. So literally you have a row maybe of 20, 25 people that are here. So it's not like 50,000 people all together in one specific area. You have these kind of towards the stage itself. So again, he's kind of embellishing, saying basically how everybody is packed together when, again, there's segmented areas that needs to be pointed out. It's kind of here, but definitely it's there with this one row here. It's kind of hard to see the one type of alleyway, but you can clearly see the areas like I mentioned when you take
Here. So if you look at the stage, of course, we have a cross. They're all about their, you know, crosses, especially like upside down crosses. Look out for those as well. I just wanted to point that out while that screenshot was up.
Is just packed together when, again, there's segmented areas that needs to be pointed out. It's kind of hard to see here, but definitely it's there with this one row here. It's kind of hard to see one type of alleyway, but you can clearly see the areas like I mentioned when you take a closer look here. Now let's get back to the interview with these two.
You guys get out then.
Only the strong survive.
Yeah, I mean, you just make it out.
Only the strong survive. We just made it out. Nothing specific. Very interesting.
Got myself out of there. But I mean, people were slowly coming out of there. They were just getting dragged over the rails, which happens at most Travis shows.
That's very key right there. People dragged over the rails, which happens at most Travis concerts or shows, as he says it. So basically, the ones behind this, they know how the concerts go. You know, people in the front, they're going to be pulled over the rails. So this is a constant theme, and that's very key to pull this off. Going into it, knowing how this is all going to go down, and easy to pull off. And that gets into more interviews. And just take a listen here to the police. I believe that this is the actual police chief of Houston. And take a look here again. They've done this many times in the past with individuals in the background that give it away in plain sight. When everybody's looking at the man at the podium, the officer at the podium, they're not looking in the background and just basically seeing what's happening. Let's get right to it.
And he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan.
He's talking about people supposedly going around, putting a prick in people's necks. And this guy, this individual part, of course, of the whole entourage of the police department during this conference, this press conference. Now I'm going to get a little bit of a closer look and take a look at the duping delight here as this part of the interview, this press conference, and the police chief goes on about pricking the neck, and you can see clearly duping delight taking place here.
And he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious.
And there's that smirk, and there's no denying this, right? When he goes in and talk about this, and there's a smile, because this is obviously set up to happen. Kind of reminds.
Yes, look for the duper's delight. So these parents who supposedly, sometimes on the day of or just the day after or even the same week are already, pushing for gun control or some sort of right to be taken away right after their child or loved one was just tragically killed. So it's like, and it's that first day and they're smiling and showing this duper's delight. Really look out for that, because it's almost like they can't even control it. They don't even know they're doing it, or they're just really terrible, terrible actors. So that's another red flag to look out for, like RV Truth is pointing out.
Me of this, which of course took place in Orlando, Florida, and the police officer in the back laughing and smiling, and you had the mayor with the surname Dyer for this event. Give me a break. Just take a quick look here as you see the little wink and basically a carbon copy of just basically what went down recently in Houston. So it's again the same carbon copy tricks are being played on the masses. And the masses, they don't have much discernment. They're easily fooled because, again, like I showed so many times, with former U.S. President Richard Nixon, absolutely no hero but telling the truth. The American people don't believe anything until they see it on television.
Keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated.
Please go and check out his channel. I highly recommend it. Again, I wanted to show you guys his video to show you that I'm not the only one that's exposing these events for what they really are. There's other people besides myself that are trying to get the truth out there, pointing out this symbolism and pointing out the deception. I'm probably not going to play the call for an uprising video because it is kind of a little bit long. I will put his link in the chat, or unless one of my moderators could again put RV Truth and a call for an uprising's link in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to play some other clips now that I found interesting and point out some symbolism that I noticed, that RV Truth didn't point out. And yeah, Lindsay, I mean, that's the thing is, in these events, like, people can actually die. But there's a lot of times where nobody dies. It's just, you just have to try to discern which one is which, and, which one's a false flag, which one's an actual sacrifice, and which one's just a complete 100% hoax. And there is a way, most of the time, to tell which ones are which. Again, as I said earlier, I have not delved into this case a lot, so I can't say specifically whether or not I think that people actually died, whether it's 100% orchestrated and set up. It's just too early to say, but I did want to cover this case because of everything that's going on, and because I know that a lot of you wanted me to cover it as well. And speaking of eight people, what's interesting about the 8 is the 8, the number. I'm sure that there's more of I don't really get a lot into, I do the numerology thing, but I'm not, I don't know a lot about all of the ciphers and the gematria. There's several other channels that do a great job at covering that. But I do know that, the 8 represents, infinity, which is an occultic symbol. And I found the 8 interesting because when I covered that Tristan Bailey case, which had a lot of symbolism in it as well. And that's one of those cases where it didn't blow up as much as the Chris Watts case or the Summer Wells case. But in my opinion, I do believe that one was orchestrated as well, due to all the characteristics and the red flags and the symbolism, so on and so forth. But in one of her pictures, she's wearing a cheerleading outfit with that says Infinity Cheerleading. So look out for that infinity symbol. And that's where, it's how many times do these same symbols, even though one's a number 8 and one said infinity, it's still representing the same thing. So look out for the same symbols, numbers, letters, colors over and over again, like myself and RV Truth talk about all the time. They're literally he calls them Easter eggs, I call them breadcrumbs, but they're literally hidden in plain sight, and the majority of people have no idea. Oh, and real quick before I start another video, if anybody in chat can tell me, I still have not figured out what initially started all of the chaos. Was it the shoe being thrown? And we're going to talk about the shoe. We're going to talk about the shoes. If you guys follow me on my channel, you know how I always talk about the shoe symbolism. Hey, Red Sky Black. So was it because of that the shoe was supposed to be thrown or stolen, like Travis Scott's shoe? Was it? I don't know the reason. So if one of you guys can fill me in and let me know, that'd be great. That started the whole thing. And by the way, the call for an uprising video, he kind of goes more into the whole Kardashian thing and the fact that is it Kris Jenner? It was that day. It was her 66th birthday. So you have your double numbers. I even think that the concert fell on the 666th day of some sort of. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's I joke about it, and it's okay, how many times are you going to use 13? How many times are you going to use 33? How many times are you going to use 666? Let's let's be a little bit more original here, guys. Let's switch up your numbers. You know, it gets kind of old after a while. I mean, it really does. But that's what they do. And they use those numbers over and over again. And once you're aware, like Red Sky Black said, like once your eyes are open, it's crazy. And they're just so easy to spot. And they're almost laughable and ridiculous how sloppy they really are. But again, the majority of people have no idea. And that's why I'm trying to point out all of these inconsistencies and these red flags in these cases. And also, like, when these events happen, I'll go and I'll put in witness interviews to try and see if I can find your crisis actors and your ones with the duper's delight. And you'll notice too with these events, like, they always find just a small amount of people, even though there's like, supposedly, well, there's thousands of people there, not supposedly, but thousands of people at this concert, like just like with the Las Vegas shooting. Sorry. Apparently my ad blockers. Oh, I don't have ad blocker on Firefox.
No odor. We've all been there.
But like with Vegas, there seemed to be, even though there were so many people there, there's a limited amount of people who were interviewed. Like it was the same ones over and over and over again on multiple channels, like news outlets for talking about about the witnesses at the concert, right? Even though there's thousands of people there. So that's something else to look out for as well. They always seem to find just their few that go on all the Good Morning America and your Fox News and your CNN.
To the front, and it's so hard to breathe up there that you just have to wait till it pushes back, because if it gets pushed forward, most likely it's gonna get pushed back, and then when you get pushed back, a lot of people always fall over, and I always turn over to help them get back up.
Describe what it was like around you.
It was so hard to move your arms, and it was so hard to breathe that I was pushing everyone in front of me just to get a breathe, just breathe.
And were there instances where Travis Scott stopped the concert because of what was going on, because of the medical issues?
Yeah, he stopped, and then he pointed at where the area where he saw someone passed out and said everyone to go help him out.
Did this happen multiple times?
Yeah, he did 2 or 3 times.
And once they stopped the concert, what was going on around you? Were you able to see people getting medical attention, or were you too close to the front that you couldn't see?
I didn't see anyone get medical attention after the concert. Everyone just leaving, because most of them just got taken out of the crowd and were taken to the medical tent.
What was it like exiting?
Okay, so when I first watched this video, I didn't catch this. I wasn't even looking at his shoulder, but I mean, it's not fully on the screen as of yet, but you can see, sorry, I'm not pointing right now. You can see clearly there's a butterfly or a moth or something right here on his, how many butterflies do we have to see pop up in these cases? With the Watts case, the girls, Bella and Cece had butterflies on their walls. They had 2 butterfly toys in their pictures they were playing with. Nicole Kessinger was standing on a monarch sandboard. It's butterfly, orange, all the numbers. It's just repetitive over and over again. Your triangles, your certain shapes. It's really, really ridiculous. And it's just overwhelming how much symbolism that they put in these events. Literally, again, in plain sight. But here we go. Another butterfly. So I just wanted to point that out.
There were so many people. There was a lot of ambulances and cops there, and everyone was just kind of kind of like sad because a lot of people got injured and stuff.
Were you able to see people getting medical attention?
Yeah, I did. I saw someone taken away in a cart while they're doing CPR.
What was going through your mind?
I was like, it was like kind of sad knowing that like your heart stopped, just like in the crowd.
When Travis, okay, so like I said, an hour before Travis came on, it started to.
Okay, so like the kid before this one that was just up or whatever, not the kid, but the guy. He's another thing to look out for with these in my opinion actors is we're talking about someone who literally just went through a really traumatic situation. So whether it be the Las Vegas shooting or whatever, or, you know, a terrorist attack, it's like they're saying how scary it was. They're saying how awful it was. There's people that were dead all around them, but they're, you know, what they're saying is not matching their actions. It's not matching their body language. So again, he's talking about tragedy, but then he clearly has a smile on his face. And I know that people deal with death and tragic situations differently, but when it doesn't match what they're saying, that's when, again, I look at it from a different perspective and really start asking questions like, why is this guy smiling when he's talking about people dying?
I'm thinking, okay. In my group, we were kind of like, it's almost like, it was like a current. I got really close to the front right when Travis came out. And as soon as he came out, it's almost like the people around us, we started just shifting down the side along the edge of the rail, kind of back and over. I kept noticing this circle forming to my right. And I kind of just kept working along it, around it behind me. And then Drake came out, and that's whenever like, it was really insane. Obviously, it was crazy. You know, I mean, I'm around people, they're yelling, "Stop the show," chant. People were chanting, "Help, stop the show." And that's when I was like, dude. And then he stopped for a second and he said, "What?" And then he looked over on one side. He told them like, "Hey, get her up, get her up." And at one point, there's a clip on Twitter. I've been hunting their Twitter trending, and you hear him say, "Stop the what?" And he just tells his DJ, his name's Chase B, to keep on. They kept it going, and there was people freaking out. There's clips on Twitter. But I definitely started to get freaked out, I guess, whenever I saw the big group of people around there. And I can't imagine being on that circle because it was probably just people letting people, and you know, some people. You know, they're not even trained in that. Clearly, they weren't expecting this magnitude. We saw at 9 a.m. that Western States. I mean, I go to those events with myself. You look at yourself, and there's people who go to it. Sometimes you got to know, like, there's.
I'm thinking, hell yeah, I'm going to a concert. I'm going to have a good time. I'm not thinking that I'm going to get trampled. I'm not thinking that I could have a speaker follow me. Like, yeah, it's possible. But, and just the way that he's talking, like the words he's using, I have the mindset that something like that could happen and people can get hurt. And it doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion.
Just not enough ratio of, it's like 1 to 10 people that one person isn't going to be able to help everybody if everybody's struggling. I was definitely tired. I was super lucky. I borrowed a huge Camel Pack water. I mean, I had a big one, so I was full the whole time. I was just taking sips, conserving it. I mean, I'm 6'2", so I can look up. Most people, you know, and they can't do that. I would just look up and get a really, it was cold air, so it felt good. I could breathe just fine. I never really was worried about myself, per se, because I knew I'm taller and bigger. I need to. I can work my way out of here without, you know, hopefully hurting anybody. But no one was really going to push me over, or I wasn't going to get knocked down. But I mean, I was worried about people around me. There was a group of guys. I kept circulating. Faces kept changing. So every couple minutes, I'd look around and be like, you know, you got me, I got you. Like, don't let each other fall, because if someone falls, it's gonna be a nightmare trying to get them back up and then that stuff.
So there was just like so many people there, and I'm glad none of us got hurt, but we saw a lot of people like pass out and just get injured. And you can tell like all crazy. And I think Don Tolliver was like first. I was like, yo, like I'm kind of scared for my life at this moment. And then obviously like that enough stage.
Feel repetitive, but they're so repetitive that I have to be repetitive, it seems like. Look out for as well with this symbolism when these eyewitnesses or these people that were at the concert, behind them you're gonna see, like in the Gabby Petito case, dead center when the cop's talking to him, you see an inverted triangle yield sign right behind her. She's got her triangle earrings in. She's supposedly lost in this mountain range with all these peaks that are triangles. I mean, triangle necklace, triangles everywhere. They freaking love their triangles and their pyramids. It's so ridiculous. But if you look behind this guy, and almost like the center of the screen is, it's not like an exactly perfect triangle, but in reality, there's a triangle on that blue sign right behind them, or right behind him. And then, with the Gabby Petito case, you have that main Florida news station that was covering the whole thing, which is 13, like Florida FL something 13. Go figure, 13. And then we have KHOU here that is 11, and you have that duality and the double numbers, right? And I know that people are going to think, well, that's just crazy, Megan. Like, it's just the news station. It just happens to be 11. Every single, city or whatever has an 11 or channel 13 or channel 15. But it's just very, very interesting that with the Gabby Petito, it was 13. Chris Watts was 33. It happened on August 13th. Now we have another 11, which is also an occultic number. So again, look out for those double letters and double numbers, your triangles, your colors. You guys know pretty much. And if there's anybody that's new in here, really look out for that symbolism. Definitely.
And then oh man, there's just so many people there. It felt like a million people there at once. Like people just like passing out, and like you could barely catch your breath. Kind of like people would push forward, and then like the people at the fence, they didn't want to get pushed all the way squished, and so they'd push back, and so you just kind of like moving back and forth. And then people would start moshing, they open up a circle, and then people start pushing back and forth. And so like a lot of people don't want to do that, but there's also a lot of people that want to mosh. So people want to stay because it's Travis. That's like one of their favorite artists. But then, they get hurt or injured, and then you see like the people.
So this could also be a stretch as well, but in my opinion, I don't think so. Look at his shirt. I just noticed this is, it says OBY. It almost looks like an abbreviation for obey, which they want us to do. They want to control us. They want us to obey. They want us to conform. They want us to wear masks. They want us to, get that thing in our body so that we can go and see our families and we can, go and eat in restaurants. It's all about control, 100% for them. And then some. Hey, Chica.
The medical team trying to like help people out, and then there's also a lot of people that were being ignorant and just like stomping and like not caring about the people that fell down, and so there's just a lot of both sides of that.
The sardines from SpongeBob when they're jumping, that's what it felt like the whole time, bro. Like the whole time, everyone was just going down, people were getting trampled. There was a couple times where we fell, but it wasn't anything serious compared to other people, like younger women and stuff. It was just terrible all around.
Then it just went to hell from there. I mean, bodyguards after bodyguards, security, police, they were just escorting people over left and right, and it was just tough to see. I had my water backpack on, and I'm fortunately was used to the squishing and stuff like that, so I just thank God that I'm alive.
Uh-oh, experiencing difficulties. Go figure. Yeah, the blue sign with the triangle, Chica, exactly. And the sand dune connection is weird as well.
End-to-end encryption, automatic.
Sweet pea. Yeah, exactly, Infowars. That's another one of the motives. It's distraction. And I brought this up before when I've been covering the Gabby Petito case. Well, actually, pretty much, Chris Watts, all of them. Any of these mainstream, tragic, high-profile events are all to get people glued to their televisions. Or if you're in the true crime community, like on YouTube, putting out the body cam footage and the discovery, it's all to distract. 100%, I agree. We saw these already, so I'm going to skip this. Now this one is interesting. If it plays. And again, a lot of this reminds me of the Las Vegas shooting. I haven't covered it a lot on YouTube, but I have talked about it a little bit. As far as the whole concert thing goes and everyone being interviewed about what happened.
And Joseph Gonzalez both joining us now. So Timothy, I'll start with you. When did you realize something was wrong?
Honestly, I started realizing it when when SZA's concert was over with, everybody started heading towards our stage. And as soon as the music started jumping, that's when everybody just started pushing in, and everybody was just so squeezing into us, we couldn't even move. We were like this the whole time. You literally, when you would move,
I look at backgrounds. Hey, Michelle. I always look at backgrounds, and if you can't see it right now, let me play it for a second. But
couldn't move, like I mentioned,
and so, oh crap. Well, crap.
You just really felt like a frozen. You were just frozen. You just stood there.
Oh, there's a good, well, there was a good shot. It's just, my computer sucks. But there's, peaks on the stage, which is triangles. I might have mentioned that already. There's just so many, I forget.
And Joe, what did you see? What did you do? What did you see happening around you? And where exactly were y'all in the crowd as compared
Did
to
she just say where y'all? What kind of news anchor says where y'all? That's weird. Okay.
As far as the stage, we're at the very front. Not the very front, but we held the rail. And like he said, as soon as the concert started, the concert goers, they just pushed. And from what we seen, we actually experienced, we couldn't breathe. And we had security at the rail, and for whatever reason, they were not helping us at all. They were uncooperative.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to point out. You have this, rubber band workout thing. I don't know what it's called. But, and it might be stretching. No pun intended. That was really bad. Okay, 2 triangles here, and then on this, case thing, I don't know what it is. But then you have your checkerboard, black and white, which is also very Masonic, because when you walk into a Masonic temple, they have their black and white checkerboard. So I found that interesting. I'm sure the Nike probably has something to do with it in his shirt. Who knows? You have your cross here in his ear. It's ridiculous.
They didn't want to pull nobody out.
Did you say something to security? Did you say, I'm being squeezed, people are pushing, what's going on, I need help? Did you say something to security at that point, Joe?
had a whole section screaming help, help, and nobody was doing nothing. They, like I said, for whatever reason, they didn't want to help. And I don't know if it was because there were deaths right in front of us, then they weren't helping at all.
I'm sorry, did you say what was in front of you?
Like dead bodies in front of us.
Okay, so I find that question really interesting and what he says, because we're talking about only 8 people that, I mean, not only, I don't want to say only 8 people, that sounds really bad, but I mean 8 people out of how many thousands of people. And she's like, wait, what did you say? And he's like, oh, there were bodies like pretty much all in front of us. So when he says bodies and you're only talking about 8 people in front of him, was there 5 people? Like, what are the odds that bodies just happen to be in front of these 2 guys out of all of those people? And he says bodies. It wasn't like, oh, there was a body here or there was a body there, but there were bodies all in front of us. I just find that very, very interesting.
Timothy, I mean, that is just so horrible. Timothy, did Travis Scott stop performing as soon as people started running and crushing the stage?
Yes, he did stop at a point. He made sure the car was okay and everything. But then after that, he just started going back at it, and then more unconscious bodies happened, and we were just trying to fight for our way out. That was honestly it. It was tragic. It was unexpected. It was scary, a frightening experience.
So, how did you get out of there, Timothy? I mean, how did y'all get from that crush that's pushing you up towards the barricades right there by the stage?
First, we were all together as a group. That was our plan. We stayed together. We ended up separating equally and individually. Separate transactions, separate ways. I didn't know which way to head. I was always towards the back. I ended up in the back of them. I told people behind, said, please get out. Get my and I have some other friends out there and go, safe announcement.
Joe, what time did y'all get to the concert? You know, like, and what was happening? Was everything calm when you got there? What did you see?
So we ended up getting there pretty early, around 6, 7 a.m. And around 9 o'clock, that's when they had a check, and people rushed past that. When the gates opened around 10 o'clock, it was kind of hectic. People wanted, merchandise, and it was pretty calm up the day. And as soon as 9 o'clock hit, that's when everybody just pushed forward, and they got compact. And for us to get out, honestly, it was luck. It was grace of God, because there was no telling who we got out.
Well, you got out there. Timothy, one question for you, and I'm not suggesting that either one of you took drugs. There are reports that there was drugs being passed around or taken, or was there a concert? Do you know anything about that? Did you hear about it? Did you anyone?
Really big on proper grammar and speaking, even though I'm a terrible speaker. But I know, don't be so hard on yourself, Megan J. But yeah, I'm just, y'all. What's up, y'all? This doesn't seem very professional. Okay, Michelle. Send it to me in Discord if you can. I want to check it out. Yeah, exactly, Kentucky, and welcome. The upside down or inverted cross. Yep. Oh, I forgot to mention on my thumbnail, if you look at the entrance to the concert, and I noticed this when Melissa Jade was showing the screenshot of the entrance. There's Travis Scott, and he's got his dreads, And there's 3 dreads on one side and there's 3 dreads on the other. What does that make? 33. What are the odds? Stuff like that you guys really need to look out for in these events. I mean, it's just so, like, it's so dumb. It's like, oh, 3 and 3 and 6, 6, 6. It's just, it's so ridiculous. It really, really is. But that's what they do. That's what these people love to do. And put it in plain sight and literally, like, throw it in our faces and mock us. And again, I say it all the time, but the majority of people have no idea. But once you are or do, like, wake up to what's going on, they're so very easy to spot that they're almost laughable at times, how sloppy they are. And this stream is like super delayed, and I really do apologize about that. So I might have to end it a little bit sooner because I don't think it's going to get caught up, and I did want to like engage with you guys a little bit more, but so we might have to try this again another time. I mean, I will do another live stream obviously on it. I'll continue to cover it as long as it goes for. Yeah, Michelle, I know buffering is, I don't know, it's inevitable on my stream. Okay, there's another video that I wanted to show you guys that had some more symbolism in here. Where is it? Just give me 1 sec, you guys. No. I'm trying to find the video. There's a video with the news anchor, and behind him is the visual. And the visual is right at, let me see if I can find it, but it's like entrance 13. It's like, of course it's entrance 13. Why wouldn't it be? That's the video I'm trying to find. Hopefully I can find it for you guys so I can have some documentation here. I just don't want to play too much of this clip because it's Good Morning America, and I don't want to. Is it buffering bad? Okay. Yeah, I'll probably end it after this one then.
All of that fat pocket that was here, that huge pocket, is just.
And the investigation into the crowd surge that left 8 dead and hundreds injured. Lots of new details.
Alright guys, I know it's buffering. I hate to do that to you guys, I really do. And it's super annoying for me. I'll try to fix the issue. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with Chrome. I tried to fix the audio issue, but for some reason I had to use Firefox because Chrome is not playing volume on my computer. So I'll probably go ahead and end it. I do apologize, you guys. I hate doing this to you, but the buffering is super annoying. Again, please check out A Call for an Uprising if my mods can put again his link in there. And I say again way too much. It's like Chris Watson like, but I say again. But I do have to repeat myself a lot, it seems. Call for an Uprising, RV Truth, Melissa Jade, and any other channel creators that you guys want to recommend to anybody, please do so. If you are a channel creator and you're one of my moderators, please, you guys know, feel free to drop your channel as well. And also, if one of my moderators can drop TCA's channel, she's doing great work as well on this stuff. So with that being said, I will try to fix the buffering issues, the volume issues. You know, this is what happens when I don't stream for like 2 weeks. So apologize.